So hello and welcome everybody. I am Denise Armenio, a certified emotion code, body code, and genius biofeedback practitioner. And I am here today with my co-hosts, Claire McIntyre and Connie Minnis. And I have my volunteer for today, Abby, Michelle, and Rumpel. Nice. Thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And we also have
Happy to be
Dr.
here.
Drake here. So we have a full house today. So welcome everybody. I am just going to start my screen share. And hopefully you can all see that. Yep, you can see that now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So today we are going to work with Abby, and Abby was in a car accident several years ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2019.
2019, and she suffered a bunch of different injuries. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. So I suffered from a whiplash injury and resulted in a TBI, traumatic brain injury. I have herniated discs, disc degeneration, nerve damage in my cervical spine and lumbar spine, and I have really bad muscle tension and pain, which has also been causing a lot of anxiety and gut dysbiosis a little bit as well. So I did travel the world a lot. So I know that I've picked up bugs along the way, but I've been very health focused not my whole life, but in the past 15 years of my life, I've been very health focused. So I know that there's something that's not signaling properly because of these injuries. And I'm very excited for you to tune me up.
Well, excellent. You've provided a wonderful canvas for us to work with. So if I can just ask now, because I think everybody who's tuned into this on most Thursdays do know that I like to work with the symptoms, primarily because anything can cause anything. So I don't want to try to go down one path given a diagnostic or diagnosis name when it could actually be anything. So first, if we can just get a sense, and if you can rate the pain that you're in right now today, not yesterday or not on an average, but like today, where are you feeling your most physical pain?
In my neck, shoulder, and down my arm,
So
and my
neck,
right
left
leg.
shoulder, and arm.
Yeah. And it's a dull, numb pain. And then my hip pain is more of a radiating pain that goes all the way down my leg and the back of my knee. My leg would be about a 7, 8, and my neck about a 6 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just pause right there for a second. I've entered all your information into my iPad. So I'm just gonna go on and start entering some of this information. So neck pain is how did you rate it?
About a 6 right now.
A 6 out of 10. And your hip pain, you said, is a 7 out of 10?
Yeah, which is hip to my foot.
Okay, hip.
The worst is but at the back of my knee on my right side and in my hip. So
your right hip or both hips?
My right hip and my right back of knee.
Okay. Sorry, I'm quiet as I'm typing this. And then left shoulder, right?
Yeah,
and
left shoulder, arm to my hand.
And how would you rate that? Or is that part of the neck?
My neck's about a 6, but my arm right and shoulder and my pec down my arm is about a 7 right now.
Okay. Okay. And then, so that's how you rated your physical. Emotionally, how are you feeling? How your anxiety, you mentioned, how would you rate that?
Anxiety is usually a 7 out of 10 most days.
And today, is it a 7 out of
Yeah.
10? Okay. So I'm just going to tap off a couple of these things on here. Back pain, anxiety, neck pain. I'm going to put painful joints. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Muscle aches. Your vision is okay.
Yeah.
Do you get any headaches?
Not very often, no,
Okay.
surprisingly.
Okay, so I think we're good here. So I'm just going to hit begin on the bottom here. And for anybody that may be on trial with the Genius or is new to the Genius, this screen is just really for your records. Nothing that you enter on here is going to affect the scan in any way. This is just basically so you have a record of what your client has told you on what they've been told is wrong or how they are describing what their issues are. So I'm just going to hit begin, which is down at the bottom here, and hit OK. And so in just a second, I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, begin. And if you can just say your full name and repeat A-E-I-O-U until the 15 seconds is up. There'll be a white line that goes across the screen, and that's how you know that the 15 seconds is up.
Okay, perfect.
Right? So 3, 2, 1, begin.
Abby Michelle Rumpel, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, A-E.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is hit on the bottom left. You see it says voice harmonics. Now I'm going to press this, and what that does is the Genius translates what you just recorded into a frequency, and that frequency works as like a homeopathic for your body. It is typically it's very low pitched, so it may be difficult for you to hear over this Zoom. I'm going to put my volume up, so hopefully you could hear it. But here it goes.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's going through. I'm running my laptop and iPad, so there's a little bit. Is my volume still okay? I know that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now I'm going to hit next. And it's going to be a little tricky because now I have to take your picture from my iPad. Okay, so I'm going to do this the best I can. And I'm being a little tricky here now today. I'm actually going to change this, so just a second. Okay, so I got a better picture there for you. So now I'm just going to hit begin analysis. And okay, so now the Genius is asking for an energetic affirmation for entrainment. So I always like to put something in here. But what it does is when you put an affirmation in is that the Genius will translate the written affirmation into a frequency. And then that frequency will be overlaid when we're running all the other frequencies. So it is a nice little information that Yeah, it's a nice touch. Thank you that we can add into all your balance. So what I like to add here is all energies are transmuted into the frequency of pure love.
Beautiful.
You have to love the that it shows all the words there. Filled with pure love, light, and gratitude. And I'm also going to add I am pain free.
Affirmed.
So it is okay. So I'm going to hit okay. And so now everybody that has the Genius, when you have the Genius or the trial, you'll see the 3 categories that you're seeing right now: biofield, body, and mind. However, if you've purchased or created any libraries, we can also add them. So I'm going to go into hit these 3 these 3 lines on the top right corner, which we call our navigation bar. And I'm going to go down to libraries and select libraries. And I'm going to hit add to client. And then I'm just going to touch on the top right up here, select all, and hit OK. And I'm also going to go into master branch. Now for master branch, you need to select both the created and shared if you want all of those to go to the client. So I'm going to add to client, and I'm going to hit select all and OK. And then shared, add to client, select all, and OK. So now I am going to arrow out now to the main page, and you can see that the Genius has added libraries as one of the categories. So now I could just hit down on the bottom and hit begin analysis. So what happens now is after the Genius runs an analysis, it will then order those 4 different categories in priority of where the Genius sees the most energetic disturbances. So for you, Abby, it's showing it body, which does make sense. Then in your mind, the biofield, and lastly in the libraries. So before we get further, I just want to tap on your aura, the line aura, which is right down here in biofield, so that we can get your aura picture. So again, I'm just going to follow the prompts and hit begin analysis down on the bottom.
Ooh, purple.
Yeah, we have. So what I look for when I'm looking at auras, and this will change with each practitioner and as they use it more, I like to see bright, vibrant colors, usually just one color I like to see. In any areas where it may be like this light gray or dull or muddy looking, that's usually an indication that there's stagnant energy.
Okay.
It could also sometimes mean that there's some kind of an interference coming in. That can be a spiritual interference. It could be electrical interference, but some form of interference.
Okay.
We also see there's like a little grayer color or something.
Yeah, a little green tint to it.
Yeah. So, that's something that, hopefully will move out. And and the energies are moving from the right to the left. So what's most important really when we see these changes or what's coming in, because anything that's on the left side is moving out of your field.
Okay.
It is important to note though, that if I were to do an analysis again, this aura picture could look completely different because it's changing quickly. So we just
Yeah.
want to basically see that we're moving energy, we're bringing in some bright, vibrant colors, and that the pale stuff is moving all out.
Okay, perfect.
So, okay. So let's just go over what these numbers and colors mean on the side, and then we'll start looking
Okay.
into how we can help work with your discomfort that you're having. So the Genius works on a numerical value system, and it works from the number range from 0 to 777. So the range from 0 to 100 is represented by the color blue, and it's observed to be chronic energetic disturbances. So you've had it for a longer period of time. In Chinese medicine, that can also be referred to as stagnant energy. And also another way to refer to it is under energy. So it might be that that specific item you're looking at isn't getting enough energy.
Okay.
After the blue, we go into the green range, and that's from 101 to 450. And then we go to yellow, which is 451 to 688. And then we go to the color red, and that's represented by the range 689 to 777. And red is observed to be acute energetic disturbances. So it's happening now in the present. And sometimes you'll even see some items and you won't think it has any, doesn't relate to you at all. And that often that's because maybe you're absorbing some energies from people that are close around you. If you were in an airport or a crowded subway or on a bus, or even, at work, or family members that you're living with, oftentimes we do absorb their energy. The important thing always is that we can, that energy can pass through us and that it doesn't stay. But sometimes it's attracted to similar energies that we have within us, and it doesn't release. And that's why they show up and you're not passing through them.
Okay.
So the red also in Chinese medicine could be referred to as heat or inflammation, and also can be referred to as over energy. So maybe it's getting too much energy.
Okay.
So, and then also I just wanted to note on the left-hand side here, you see like these little accordions or down arrows. Those are there to tell you that on this line, you can go a little bit deeper. So if you click on any of those lines where you see those little arrows, there's more information. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
There you go. It goes a level deeper.
Okay.
So I just wanted to go over that. Now, so one of the things that you've been hearing myself and Dr. Deb talking about, I guess these last 12 weeks are, how can we prepare our body so that we can best receive these frequencies? And what we have been using is, and I have to just go into analysis, is like a primer. We like to prime the body. So, and a lot of that is done through making sure that our body is getting the right minerals that it needs, that our biofield is healthy, and we're clearing some of that. So let's just take this second while the Genius is scanning. Sorry, I have a lot of library, so it takes.
Oh, that's good. I'm like just reading all of the things that have popped up so far. I like it.
Good.
Those
okay. So we're going to go right to your vessel priming, which is actually showing as red. I'm going to add them all.
Okay.
And I'm going to run for 3 minutes. I'm going to run, whoopsies. All of these, just to hopefully you can get the benefit of having these. So there's sacred geometry in here. It has mostly everything from the biofield, the minerals. I've added the governing vessel meridian. So everything, we want to just try to tune up everything that we could to get your body in the best physical
Okay.
shape it can be.
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of things that resonate.
Like what?
Well, the C2, the grounding energy, spleen meridian. I noticed a couple other ones that were in the list before you did the scan that I think it was L5, T4. Those are all my painful areas.
Well, the C2 is the one that's the highest right now.
Yes,
Go
that's one
all
of
the
my
way down. I could look and do that. I was just for time's
yeah,
sake.
for sure. A C2 is one of my herniated discs, so that is on target.
Dr. Deb here, please take note that the histidine, fourth item on the list that regulates histamine, is so depleted and the vitamin D right beside it in your spleen. So your spleen is using all your histamine, okay?
Ah,
And therefore, and then underneath that we see dark forces and psychic protection. So you're
yeah,
trying to disattach from a dark force in the spleen, such as an old infection, who knows what as well, okay?
right.
When you hurt the back of the neck, you do open the aura to a psychic attack at the back of the neck. That's typically where it enters the reticular activating system. So I like
Okay.
everybody who's had a head injury or a whiplash to try to seal back up that autonomic nervous system at the vagus nerve at the back of the neck there. Just above the vagus nerve is the fourth ventricle, which is the Wi-Fi port of humans, your light port. So a light worker like you who gets hit in the light port, maybe you have other dark forces trying to enter in the injury.
Yeah, and I did actually have an energy clearing, it would have been 6 months ago, and there was 11 curses or hexes put on my C7. So
Yeah, we can get those.
definitely have some dark forces after me, but I am protected. I do a lot of meditation practices, breath work, prayer, everything to make sure I am safe and surrounded by angelic light. Especially with the ascension and everything going on, there's a lot of energy shifts going on.
So you had a 35% rectification, and it's pretty even across all those, the harmony, alignment, and energy flow. So that's really good to see. I'm just going to rescan and just to see what comes up here. And C2 is right on top now that we cleared it. So I'm going to, that was a good, I'm happy with that rectification. I'm going to go back out right now. And I'm going to clear what's in the tray. I am going to add in though, where is it here? All your spinal energy to the tray. And also I just want to show everybody right now, the way the spinal energy is presented is in order of your spinal column. But if you press where it says high to low, it will then put all the reds on top. So you could see which of the ones right now have a high disturbance. So that's C1, thoracic 6, thoracic 3, L5, thoracic 1, L2. And then the ones that it's showing as more chronic are thoracic 10, C5, and thoracic 8. So, but I'm going to add them all.
All of that resonates. I've been struggling with those specific vertebrae for a very long time.
So that is good. And then I just want to, what I would like to do for you also, since libraries was I always like to do this anyway. I like to go into the system overview to get to the general overview. And I do that
Okay.
if you tap or touch the system overview at the top, it brings you into the general overview. I'm going to hit begin analysis there. So, and I am going to just do a quick balance here. I'm just going to move the timer up here to 1 minute. If I can, there we go. So the quick balance will run all the reds and blues on this page without me having to drag and drop. The difference between the quick balance and the main hold tray is that when you add things to the main hold tray, the Genius uses algorithms and it looks at the relationship to all the items in the main hold tray, and then it works on a probability what your highs are
Okay.
as far as priority, and then medium, and then low. But
Okay.
when it's a quick balance, it's just running those straight frequencies. So I'm just gonna begin that right now for you. And we can just see, so here on top, you're seeing some herbs, you're seeing your central meridian, your TH6 is coming in, liver, bladder meridian point, degeneration. Then we have some more meridians, your thoracic 3. So you're getting an idea of what's coming in. And as far as the ones that are more chronic, we have vitamins, and that's vitamins in general. Barley sensitivity.
Allergic to gluten.
Are you? So
Yeah. Yeah.
That's showing up. Circulatory, lymphatic, silica, jealousy, 2 catnips. So that's what's coming up top. And, I don't think I had this scrolled all the way to the top. So what's coming up at the top is chicory, herbs. Then we have Cassara sagrada herb, governing vessel, spleen, fluorine, some neurotransmitters. So anyway.
Okay.
By doing the general overview, we really get to work on mostly those 3 main categories and all the highs and lows. So it's a really
Perfect.
Easy way, and also time efficient way. If you don't have a lot of time,
Yeah.
is just go right to that general overview and do a quick balance. You
Okay.
can
And
also, and I've done this many times, you can add your reds and your blues to the main hold tray and work with them that way.
okay. And would you always do the general overview for 1 minute, like in this way, or would you do it
Well,
for?
I would do it for 1 minute, but depending on what the rectification is would dictate,
Okay.
If I was going to run it longer.
Okay.
If it's a decent rectification, I probably won't run it again, just so we can get into the nuts and bolts a little bit.
Okay. Awesome.
It's not showing me what 36%. So, I usually like to see 40%. So that's close enough for right now to work with it. So the other thing I want to just add in here is go to the brain EEG and add theta to the main hold tray. That will help as far as letting you be more receptive to the frequencies. And I always like to add in, I always like using the Saveggio tones. All of these were all in the primer.
Okay.
And you're going to get them also from the general overview. So for right now, just to help limit the amount of stuff that's in the main hold tray, I'm just going to add 528. That doesn't mean if you wanted to add something else in there, if you felt your eye caught the attention of something, you can definitely add that in there. And I'd like to look at body systems for you. So let's add your circulatory, nervous system, muscular, and I'm adding that even though it's not red or blue based on what we've spoke about. Let's add your skeletal system, and we'll add these reds up top. And also digestive system. And your today's stress. degeneration. We know you have some sensitivities because you just discussed it.
Yeah.
Heavy metals is always good to add. Your brain, inflammation. And then let's add these on the bottom. We could add
Also
emotion.
add acid for pain. All pain is due to acidity or alkalinity, but usually acidity.
Right. Connective tissue as well.
Yep, we could add all those. So, and let's add all your digestive pieces here. Okay, so for you now, I'd like to, well, let's just add in Nogier G, which is a universal frequency. And often Nogier A can also be considered a universal one. So I'll add that one in.
Awesome.
But let's go to your libraries, or my libraries rather. And we want to work on your nerves. So let's add in some of these cranial nerves in here.
Trigeminal,
Add them
definitely.
all.
I had a MRI of my brain, and I have issues with my trigeminal nerve on my left and right
Okay,
side.
so the genius is spot on.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, the accessory nerve runs right beside the vagus nerve. That's cranial nerve 11. So that responds to the 40 muscles of the neck that hold your neck up.
Interesting. I actually didn't realize that. Which I'm always, I lost the curvature of my neck in the accident too. My neck is completely rectified.
So let's look here. We want muscles in general. So let's get your ligaments. I'm gonna get all of this. And we want your hip, leg, and foot. And your shoulders and arms. And again, I'm adding all of these just because we know this is like the issue for you. And sometimes, you know, when we have them in relationship to other things, other ones may show up.
Yeah. In muscles facial, is that the TMJ in there? In there, or not too sure what. I just have a lot of facial tension in my head and everything. I was just curious.
Definitely. Let's just put the reds and the blues in there. I also want to get the head. I don't know if it's in here.
That cranial sacral button looks fabulous on the page before this one.
Hey, which one? Oh, this one?
Ooh.
Because when your C12 is off the axle, your big 20-pound skull is sitting right down, compressing on the spine, which goes into spasm to support the column. And that's where you're squeezing your 10th and 11th cranial nerve coming out of the hole there. So cranial sacral therapy puts the C1 back on the post, and then it takes the pressure off the sacrum, which is the parasympathetics. Very, very powerful.
I always catch myself clenching my whole body up. I'm like, what am I doing? Relax.
Well, yeah. Okay, so now I want to go into my pain, and I'm going to add all the reds for sure in here. So we have back pain, nerve pain.
It's a lot of reds.
Yeah. TMJ pain reduction is in here. I'm going to add these yellows. Let's look at what's on the blues down on the bottom. So we have bone pain, pain of infection, oxygen, shoulder, hand. So we're covering a lot in here.
Wow. This
So
is
we're already up to
amazing.
284. I'm gonna run these now, and then we could always
Okay.
empty this out and add some other stuff, but
Okay. This is an incredible library.
So your trapezius, neck ache, those are all, I'm going to run all of them for 1 minute. I'm going to follow the typical protocol I usually do, and that's
Okay.
run everything, all of them for 1 minute, 2 times, rescanning in between, and then the highs for 3 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
And also important, I always like to remind everybody, water is great before, after, during.
Well, I couldn't be a happier coach watching you two ladies integrate all these biophysical, social, spiritual realms. And this is the benefit of the Genius program, is that not one person will ever be the same with the same history or traumas or emotions or nutrition. So this particular Genius program is genius at spotting the individual, customized, personalized issues for you.
Yeah. I
So
just, looking at the list, I'm like surprised my jaw isn't actually to the floor right now because it's just
Yeah.
so accurate. I'm just like, as I'm like rotating my shoulder, I'm like, my trap is killing me. Top of the list.
Is
So,
it? Oh,
no,
well,
this
good.
is,
I'm glad we're getting at it. And you have a
yeah,
53% rectification. So that's great. So let's rescan
amazing.
these. And although we're doing all rescanning, really doesn't, it's just more, it's showing us what now is rising to the surface on, what's becoming your highs. So
Right.
again,
As we tune other things up, other things
right.
come out. Okay.
Yeah, they fall down, they entrain or harmonize themselves, and other things kind of rise to the surface.
Yeah. When I was practicing my deep tissue therapy, I would work on people's injuries all the time. And then when that injury would get better, they'd be like, now this is sore. And I always called it the pinball effect. It's like,
Well, you
it's
chase
just,
the pain, right?
and it's like a room full of screaming kids. The loudest one you're going to hear first, and then the next one, and then the next one. So it's kind of the same with the Genius. It's just
Absolutely.
quieting down that one screaming body part to allow the other one to scream louder.
can I point out a perfect
your pec-
anatomical issue there? Do you see it says
Of course.
the piriformis muscle, where the sciatic nerve pierces through that piriformis muscle. So
Yeah.
the cramp in your buttock is actually pinching the vagus, or the nerve going through there. And again, you said you hurt your obturatus externa. So there
Yeah.
it is, exactly anatomically as your body lies. It's quite amazing.
Oh, wow. And I
you mentioned
literally
your pecs. The
uh,
pec minor and major are both in there. So
with the piriformis, I literally lie on a lacrosse ball on my piriformis and right around my head of my femur, and then all the way to my coccyx. I do it like twice a day, and it just won't relax. I used to get injection, like trigger point injections and prolotherapy and everything for it, but
so now I'm going to switch this to 3 minutes, and we're just going to run the highs. So again, you have L4. We have some your flexor carpi ulna, so that I believe is in your arm, your adductor, adrenals, your rhomboid. So let's see. Let's get this going here.
Muscle cramps. That's the one thing, like I will catch myself, I'll just be like sitting, like watching a video or reading or something. And I'm like, my whole body is like tensed up, and I'm like, the muscle cramps and spasms keeps popping up. And I'm like, just shake it off.
And you stay hydrated, right?
Yes, I drink like 5 liters of water a day. I do drink coffee. I know I shouldn't be drinking coffee, but
you want to make sure you drink enough for that coffee, right?
Yeah.
Usually, I guess they say drink half your body weight in ounces. So
Yeah,
you're 100 pounds, you would drink 50 ounces
yeah,
of water, but then you have to add 2 back for every cup of
for
coffee.
exactly. So
2
I'm
glasses.
cutting down my coffee intake, but I still am having 1 to 2 cups a day.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you guys because you're missing the boat on the hypercalcemia in her pancreas and in her coffee that's making her cramp up all her muscles. So why would a girl who's so fit be cramping in calcium? It's got to be inflammation somewhere. So even though she did have an accident, there must be a cause of parathyroid hypercalcium. So what did we learn all the last month is PPP, parathyroid is connected to
Pancreas.
pancreas, which is
Pancreas.
connected to parasites.
And
Blood sugar
parathyroid
is
was
showing up
chronic.
high on here.
When we went into my glands, parathyroid was chronic. It was in the blue.
Exactly. So I do want you to remember that for
Got a little
every,
tapeworm in my pancreas.
there's got to
Craving
be,
that coffee.
that's why tapeworms like coffee. It's worth 2 tequila.
It's not me that's craving it, it's the worms. We talked about that on Monday or on Tuesday.
Yeah. So stop saying I
Who's
crave
in
coffee.
control?
Don't use those words. I crave coffee. I crave sugar. I crave chocolate. That's not you craving it. So stop that language and say, my grifters are craving some sweets. I'm going over for something salty. Watch your cravings because they're sneaky,
Yeah.
including sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Listen to high vibe music.
So Abby, you just started.
How does one quit coffee? I've done it before. I quit coffee for a whole year at one point, but I got back on it. I'll switch to mushroom mix instead.
Okay, so you're still blaming the victim here. I got to correct you again. You said that you have to stop coffee, but in fact, if you didn't have worms and did deworming, there would be no cravings for coffee for you to have to stop.
It's
The
true.
coffee is a phenol alcohol.
So am I making an excuse that I love the taste of coffee?
Yes, so you can love the taste of it, but if you're drinking, let's just say it was 1 beer a day or 1 coffee a day, well, the human being can clear that, but not 6 a day.
Right.
So who's
Right.
drinking the other 5 a day? It's got to be the parasitic colony. And
Right.
they're going to create low B vitamins for impulse control, low zinc for impulse control. And so you're going to get impulsively going over to what they want easily.
Right.
Yep.
For
I'm
sure.
going to interrupt you though right now,
Okay.
so that we can look at this because we're we have 15 minutes left here. So let's see if we can get
Okay.
some more stuff in. So you had 44% rectification on that. So that's good. I'm happy with that. Let's empty out this tray now because there were 284 items in here.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. We can look quickly into the biotrain here, and let's just look at, we'll put in these, the reds and the blues.
Woo!
Yeah. Nice
Look
little,
at all those.
yeah, I didn't
That's
even
what
go
happens
down.
when you live in Mexico.
I'm gonna add in some of the remedies in here for you. Let's see what we have in the blues. And I'm forgetting where I put some of the other remedies. Give me a second here.
Yeah.
But I do want to add in these colors for you. So these are the elements, the colors, and the sounds. So that will help.
Okay.
I want to also add in I'm trying to think of where I had the psoas, but let's do the Schuster salts. and help with your,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Magnesium. Look what's showing up, your leaky brain.
Eek. Is there a leak? Oh, I was like, did leaky gut show up too? Is there a
Yeah.
bad gut brain connection? But it's in the green. Thank God for the genius that we can just tune everything
I
up like this.
know.
It's amazing. And I love that it just gives you such good insight on what's actually going on in the body.
And let's add in these. Okay. And let's add in these colors since they're showing at the top here. And the last thing I just want to let's add in these for grounding for you. Okay.
I love that it has the frequency of crystal.
Yeah,
Magical.
isn't that great? Okay, so I'm gonna run again. We're gonna go through the 1, 1, 3. So all, and then highs.
Okay.
So we have like 3 parasites that are at the top there.
Yeah.
And there's that homeopathic at the top. I'm not sure what that one's for. That's Google is always good for that.
What
Deb, do you know what that one's for?
The causticum?
Causticum?
Yeah, so you're now caustic acid to burn through old junk, right? To caustically kill something that's there. And notice this, the third one down is
Use the word.
it's a
Yeah,
YouTube
okay.
broadcast, folks, and this is what censorship sounds like. The one underneath it, Fasciolopsis hepatica, would be the most dangerous one of the amoeba of the liver, causing high histamine, high anxiety, high thyroiditis, high liver and pancreatic issues. I would always chase this one as hard as I could, no matter who it was, wherever you find it. It's one of the most lingering problematic bugs in the bug in the
Which
in
one?
the amoeba family. The fifth one down, Fasciolopsis hepatica.
Okay.
So what's the best, I know using the genius, but herbally and other methods that I can do?
Well,
to-
most amoeba remedies, but the basic problem is that for 20 years, people can't get those antibiotics into their liver. So the magnetic therapy of the genius actually penetrates probably better than most obvious common antibiotics.
Okay.
Oregano oil would be the common one, but use
Right.
the.
I'm gonna rescan this so we can keep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna back out here. This is just a demo, and this is.
Yeah,
So
I was
gonna run these.
put on a lot of antibiotics as a kid, so there's that as well. Add it to the list.
An amoeba usually requires tropical waters or beaver fever in a lake or gum disease. So somewhere in your tropical travels, you've picked that up probably.
Yeah, I don't know beaver fever, but I've definitely swam in a lot of oceans and bodies of water. I lived in Vancouver, so I went swimming in the lakes around there and the Pacific Ocean, and lived in Mexico, so the Gulf of Mexico. And then Greece, Australia. So all of those beaches and bodies of water. Yeah, it's beautiful, but I've apparently been overrun by some critters because of it.
Hopefully we'll
nothing that the genius can't take care of, though.
So you're getting great rectification. I ran these. Now I'll rescan it and run just the highs, but
Okay.
just curious, any shifts or anything around your neck or your arm?
I do actually feel like my trapezius has released a little bit. Before it felt like it was like in spasm, holding me up a little bit. And my nerves feel a little calmer. I don't feel like I'm having to clench myself so much. So
Okay, well, hopefully anxiety is an herb is coming up there. So let's
okay.
see if that will help a little bit. Limbic system reset. So
That's very important.
hopefully some of the parasites drop down a little bit. So maybe.
Yeah, they are anxiety triggering critters for sure.
We have time. I'll try to work on some traumatic brain injury stuff.
Okay, amazing. Just looking.
While you're
Yeah,
waiting,
there's a
Denise,
few
would you mind
anxiety.
telling her how you might share that with her?
I'm sorry, what?
Denise, would you mind while you're waiting, show other newbies that you could share that recipe you have there with others?
Share what recipe? I'm sorry, I
See,
can't
this
hear you.
page has a share button on it.
Oh, up top, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could share them with Abby. I just can't do it right now.
Oh, thank you. It interrupts the scan if you click off.
Yeah, it will stop
Yeah.
the scan if I hit it. So.
Yeah. Oh, I see Karen McDonald's on. Hi, Karen.
Nice to see you.
Your
I'm
hip
in Kelowna this time.
Where are you?
Kelowna, Saskatoon,
Oh, nice.
Kelowna now. Off to the coast.
Very nice. It's good to hear from you. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, been a while since I did your therapy.
Yeah. I guess that would have been 2020 was the last time I saw you, I think. Ah, there you are. You look great.
How is your hip? You want to move it up maybe and move around? See how that's doing?
Oh, actually, it feels a lot better. Usually when I'm sitting like that, it gets really cramped up. And let me just squat down and see my knee. Back of my knee and my shin are still hurt when I squat, but definitely not as bad as before. But my hip is
good.
not. Yeah, my hip doesn't feel as compressed.
A lot of water after today.
Yeah, should remember to sip throughout this.
Okay, so 63%. So that's awesome.
Awesome.
So let's go back out here, and where are we at? Let's look at what your aura looks like. Sometimes we worked with a lot of frequencies today, so
Yeah, it's amazing how many muscular and skeletal and nervous system libraries you have. I was like,
yeah.
this
Well,
is
this
incredible.
looks a little muddy. It looks like
Yeah.
we're trying to bring in green healing energy, but there's like yellow and it looks a little muddy in there.
Yeah.
But let's see what we can do to try to clear this out. Let me share this with you first. And let's just do a quick balance. and see if these flower essences can help. You can always use, if you don't have the Alaskan ones or the Australian ones that I have, you could always use your Bach flower essences to try to
Okay.
clear things up. Even the herbs or essential oils are great, because those are all like solutions that we can use.
Just noticed I normally can't sit with my knee bent and without it hurting, and it doesn't hurt right
Oh,
now.
great. Oh,
That's
good.
good. Yeah. Improving. So powerful.
That's really good to hear. I'll
Yeah.
go back after I send these. I'll send you the ping frequencies too. So
Oh,
I'll send
thank you. I
you-
appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I got distracted. I forgot it was on 0 minutes. Okay, so with any luck, maybe this will be the one that helps bring in some bright, vibrant colors for you. We're getting there. It looks, we have some colors moving out, some colors moving in, but you'll get there. We worked with a lot of frequencies today.
Yeah, and a lot of different problems.
So, but hopefully
things are just stirred up and leaving.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully you'll work with all of those. Does anybody have any questions? We are at 3 o'clock here. You're welcome, Donna. She says thank you. I hope everybody learned a little something from here today. And if you have any different things you'd like to work on different Thursdays, please, you could put it in the chat box, or you could always email me at Denise@Inside Health Apps. You're welcome, Karen. And it's been a pleasure working with everybody. Abby, as
Thank
always,
you so
I will
much.
send you these once we go off. Well, I can stop recording now. So everybody, I just want to thank everybody for being here, and thank you for all my helpers, Claire and Connie and Dr. Deb, for your input. So appreciate it. And we will see you next Thursday.
Thank you so much. I'm so
You're
grateful. My body
welcome.
feels so much more relaxed.